My dear brothers and sisters, we are in the season of Lent, and Lent is a favorable time for personal and community renewal. And during Lent, we carry out our practices like fasting, prayer, abstinence, and almsgiving, which is all very good. But Lent is not a time, as Jesus would say, to move around with sad or grumpy phrases, even as we undertake these practices. But rather, Lent is a period of joy. Lent is not about being a bit hard on ourselves or having extra devotion or moving on to the next gear with our spiritual practices. But rather, it is about revival and renewing my relationship with Christ. And therefore, it is a joy of getting back to our first love, as the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 4 will tell us. It is being in touch with the source of unconditional love in our lives, Jesus. And therefore, dear brothers and sisters, I don't do anything just for the sake of or simply doing it, or because everyone else is doing it, or just because the church tells me to do it. But rather, I give up something. I let go of something to gain something greater, something better, something my heart desires more than ever. And therefore, Lent is about our relationship with God, with ourselves, and with others. And therefore, Lent is a kairos, an opportune time to look into our lives and allow God's grace to transform us, and not just rely on our own strength and capacity. And therefore, the devotions that we undertake, whether it is prayer, fasting, abstinence, the way of the cross, or anything, these become channels of God's grace to help us. Dear brothers and sisters, Lent is a journey where God accompanies us and guides us on our path. And this implies that Lent is not how much I can do or give up, but how much do I seek God's grace and turn to Him rather than the pleasures and attractions of the world. And Lent invites us, dear brothers and sisters, to a conversion. And this is an experience, to a change in our mindset, so that life's beauty may be found not so much in possessing as in giving and reaching out to those in need. All too often in our lives, greed, pride, and the desire to possess, accumulate, and consume have the upper hand. But now it's time we once again focus and bring our attention to the cross and not get distracted by the pleasures of this world. And therefore, dear brothers and sisters, I would like to present Lent as a lived experience with the 3 R's that will help us grow in our relationship with God, with ourselves, and with one another. The first R is to review. We are living in a fast-paced world. We are all in a rat race. So much of competition, so many distractions, so many things to do. We are always preoccupied, even when there is nothing much and we have some time for leisure. Our fingers are still preoccupied with our phones, our gadgets. And if that is not happening, then we are just staring into space with our minds wandering and overthinking and creating more stress to the already existing situation. And we do not know how time flies. We sometimes do not even know what we are doing. And what are we trying to achieve? What is my goal? What is my purpose? And because we are troubled and not at peace, we are all the time restless. This restlessness, this impatience spills on to our relationship with others. We begin to lose our temper. We cannot be calm. We cannot think right. And therefore, we need to pause. We need to reflect and review our life. And this cannot happen just once, dear brothers and sisters, but we need to do this every single day. And Lent gives us that time wherein we can pause and reflect on our life. Review my thoughts. What am I thinking about? Why do I get angry? Why do I lose my cool with this particular person? Maybe it could be my spouse, my children, my parents or colleagues. Why do I behave in this particular manner? How do I conduct myself? What am I trying to achieve in my life? And prayer helps me to review my relationship with God, myself, and others. Regular meditation reminds me to pause and become more aware rather than just get carried away by my feelings or emotions and get affected by what others say or do. Can I spend some time in the day examining my conscience? The famous philosopher Socrates, as we all know, once said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." And through this statement, he means that an unexamined human life is deprived of the meaning and purpose of existence. And to become fully human means to use our highly developed faculty of thought to raise our existence above that of mere beast. Let us spend time reviewing our actions, our thoughts, and our words. The second R is to renew. In our journey, no matter how hard we try to be good, true, honest, sometimes our words, our thoughts, and our actions create damage. Damage to ourselves, damage to others. None of us are bad, dear brothers and sisters. None of us. We all have good intentions, and everything may seem right according to us. And we are so good in justifying our actions. I did this because of such and such a reason. But just as we are so good in reasoning and justifying everything we do or say, can we also spend the same amount of time and energy to repair the damage caused and to restore the relationship? Therefore, dear friends, renewal starts with the mind. As St. Paul will say in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, we are called to renew our minds first. If my mind is healthy, then I will have healthy relationships. When my mind thinks in a particular way, maybe wrong, or maybe based on some kind of false assumption or something unrealistic, what do? We try to seek the approval, especially from those who can affirm those false actions or thoughts. For example, maybe I spoke a harsh word to someone and then was not too sure if I said or did the right thing. And then I go about talking to someone about it. What am I seeking? I'm hoping that someone will say yes. Yes, you did the right thing. He or she deserved much more. So what is happening? Instead of mending the relationship, I'm turning it into gossip and creating more damage than good. And this Lent, dear brothers and sisters, we are called to renew our relationships rather than just hurting, creating damage, and becoming indifferent to our actions. We are called to renew. And in order to renew, I have to once again begin to trust. I must learn to forgive. I must learn to let go so that the damage can be repaired. It's so easy to justify, to give in, or latch on to our false ideas and beliefs about people. We judge people quickly on the way they act, on what they say. We form opinions about how they behave. But it is a challenge to accept. When I accept, that's when renewal begins. I accept you in spite of your faults, your weaknesses, your limitations, whatever it may be. And if we want renewal, dear brothers and sisters, I cannot hold on to my old beliefs and opinions, but I need to give a chance. I need to give up my old way of thinking and allow the relationship to grow and develop. Am I really seeking renewal in my life? Do I really seek renewal in my relationships? And this leads us to the third R, that is revive. Do not go back to the old self. Lent is a springtime. It's a newness. It is an experience of joy. And we have to restart, dear brothers and sisters, if we want to experience the grace that transforms our lives and our relationship with others. St. Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 4, verses 22 to 24, will tell us, so get rid of your old self, which made you live as you used to. The old self that was being destroyed by its deceitful desires. Your hearts and minds must be made completely new. And you must put on the new self, which is created in God's likeness and reveals itself in the true life that is upright and holy. I should never give in to the temptation that I cannot change. This is the way I am. This is the way I function. This is what I do. I don't care about anything. Or it's too late. Already a lot of damage is done. I don't know if I will ever be accepted. And therefore we run away from situations. We run away from people. We live in a denial mode. We suppress our emotions and live with hurt for the rest of our lives. Brothers and sisters, this is not good and definitely not the right way to live. We carry wounds, we carry hurts, emotional baggage for years. And this may be caused by our family, our friends, the ones in our workplace, and even the church. But we need to ask ourselves, what am I trying to achieve by carrying all this hurt? Have I given up on myself and given in to despair and hopelessness? Or can I, through a thorough review, once again refresh and restart a good and healthy relationship? But you may say, Father, why should I get hurt again? Why should I get into a mess again? But I would like to tell you, who hurt you? We say people hurt us. This person caused me pain. And because of this person, my life is miserable. My life is ruined. And if we think like this, dear brothers and sisters, we are only accepting defeat. Remember, I am the creator of my hurt. I create hurt when other people do not meet my expectations. I get hurt when I am too attached to people and I have a fear of losing the other. And due to which we are so afraid to get into real relationships. And as one would say, we have become like zombies. We prefer a virtual reality. We are literally dead. We prefer the alternate virtual reality, virtual people whom we can control. But our real relationships are dead. Therefore, we are called to revival in this season of Lent. Revive our relationships with others through forgiveness, kindness, sacrifice, acceptance in our thoughts, in our words, and in our actions. We have to take that step. It is we who need to initiate that communication with others. Never mind if people may not respond, but through this, we are reviving our true selves, the way God made us in His own image and likeness, and not the image that people have created about us or we have created for ourselves based on other people's standards and situations. And therefore, dear brothers and sisters, let us, during the season of Lent, put into practice these 3 R's: review, renew, and revive. And then Lent becomes a true springtime, a time of joy in our life, a time wherein we are able to review, to look within, renew ourselves, and revive our relationship with God, with ourselves, and with others. God bless you.
Send forth your Spirit, O Lord, gather
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear brothers and sisters, we have just heard a teaching on how to grow in our relationships during the season of Lent by reviewing, renewing, and reviving. And therefore, let us spend this time as we are in God's presence to look into our lives. Change begins from within. And we need God's grace to help us. We need God's Spirit to convict us, especially of our faults, that we will be able to transform ourselves with God's help. And therefore, let us look into our lives. The Lord has blessed us with so many things: gifts, talents, possessions, health, and things which we have even taken for granted. Very often, we have allowed our weaknesses to get the better of us. This has created damage to our lives and also to the lives of others. What is it that I need to do in order to bring about a change from within? Look into our lives. How do I treat myself? Do I give in and succumb to every kind of temptation? Greed, anger, lust. Am I so weak that I long and desire to satiate this thirst for pleasure in my life? And I do this at the cost of hurting others, hurting even myself, and hurting my relationship with God. What is it that comes up to my mind right now? Let us take stock of our lives, dear brothers and sisters. Maybe there will be many things, but let us choose at least one thing, one area that we would like to work on during the season of Lent. Maybe it could be my emotions like anger. Maybe it could be certain bad habits, lust, greed, pride. Let us choose just one area for now and offer it to the Lord. You are not made an angry person. Impatience is not your nature. But you are created in the image and likeness of God. You are pure, holy. And therefore, we cannot blame our nature, but we have a choice. And this evening, let us choose with God's grace that this is something I will work on concretely in my life. And we turn to God in repentance right now. We say, Lord, I am sorry. Because of this, I have hurt myself and I've hurt others and even hurt your majesty. And let us pray with the Psalm of David, who calls out to God in repentance, in true contrition, asking God to pour out His Spirit into our life. Let us pray Psalm 51. Have mercy on me, God, in your kindness. In your abundant compassion, blot out my offense. Wash away all my guilt. From my sin, cleanse me. For I know my offense. My sin is always before me. Against you alone have I sinned. I have done such evil in your sight that you are just in your sentence, blameless when you condemn. True, I was born guilty, a sinner, even as my mother conceived me. Still, you insist on sincerity of heart. In my inmost being, teach me wisdom. Cleanse me, that I may be pure. Wash me, make me whiter than snow. Let me hear sounds of joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Turn away your face from my sins. Blot out all my guilt. A clean heart create for me, O God. Renew in me a steadfast spirit. Do not drive me from your presence, nor take from me your Holy Spirit. Restore my joy in your salvation. Sustain in me a willing spirit. I will teach the wicked your ways, that sinners may return to you. Rescue me from death, God, my saving God, that my tongue may praise your healing power. Lord, open my lips. My mouth will proclaim your praise. For you do not desire sacrifice, a burnt offering you would not accept. My sacrifice, God, is a broken heart. God, do not spurn a broken, humble heart. Make Zion prosper in your good pleasure. Rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Then you will be pleased with proper sacrifice, burnt offerings and holocaust. Then bullocks will be offered on your altar.
The Son of God enfold you with His Spirit and His love. Let Him fill your heart and satisfy your soul. Oh, let Him have the things that hold you, and His Spirit love will descend upon your life and make you whole. Jesus, we thank you for your word of truth. Jesus, we thank you for the bread of life.
Dear brothers and sisters, even now that we know the areas that we need to work on, now that we have chosen what is it that I need to work on in my life, let us now turn to renewal. What is it that I can do in order to renew my relationship with others? Can I reach out to them in kindness? Can I pick up the phone and once again dialogue with the other? Let us do something concrete. Can I show mercy towards them, at least in my mind, so that I can let go of that hurt and experience the renewal that I seek and desire? Everyone is created good. No one is bad. But it is the situations, my opinions, my judgments that have tainted the image, the true image of the other. Let us bring these people to mind and look at them as pure beings whom God created in love. And let us appreciate what God has done in their lives. Let us not think any more negative about any person, so that we can experience renewal. And lastly, dear brothers and sisters, this Lent we are called to revive ourselves, revive our relationships, to once again restart, not in our own capacity, but with God's grace. Ask yourself, what can I do concretely in order to reach out in love and mercy towards others? Maybe I've broken ties with the other for years. Can I once again revive this relationship? I will not blame others for my hurt, But I have a choice. Do I choose to be hurt and continue to be hurt? Or do I choose to restore, heal, and experience the joy of reconciliation? And we ask the Lord for His grace. The Lord says, my grace is sufficient for you. For in your weakness, I will be your strength. My grace is sufficient for you. For in your weakness, I will be your strength. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Greater love and friendship has no man than this, that He died for others, gave His life for all. No more are your servants, I have called you friends. All my Father told me, I made known to you. Without you, I am nothing. My weakness needs your strength. So speak, Lord, to your servant. I'm waiting for your word. Without you, I am nothing. My weakness needs your strength. So speak, Lord, to your servant. I'm waiting for your word.